Hi, Svitlana. Welcome to Novi Sad and to PDP 2020 Conference. It's a little bit different this year because of circumstances in the world, so we couldn't have live lectures. How are you feeling? How do you feel in Novi Sad?
First of all, hi, Snežana. Thank you for having me here. And we can imagine all these people here, like all these trees and stones.
If we're anxious, we can imagine them naked. So.
I do. That's why I am so nervous. I'm super excited about next few days because I like do that teaching creativity, and I don't know what to. Oh my God, sorry.
It was a lot of writing and a lot of planning, and now you're.
Yeah. We start to speak like in
I think
March.
it was February.
February. Yeah. And everything is changed from February. Oh my God. Yeah. I think it's strange times, but I like it because it's something new and the world is changing.
You think it's gonna change because of this?
Yeah, sure. Because I think that people go to the dead end. Not people, society, all humanity went to dead end, and we need to step back or even maybe jump to another level to understand that everything is changed inside us, in the world, and I hope this old world that was maybe died couple years ago maybe, and now it will be disappeared and we will live in new world.
Well, I hope so. I hope so too.
Sounds crazy, yes.
Oh, it doesn't. It sounds really.
But we'll see.
It
We'll
sounds
see.
reasonable. I mean, if this brings out the empathy in people, it's gonna. I guess it's for the good then. Let me start by introducing you. We had a chance to speak for a couple of months now. This is Svitlana Levchenko. She is a great perceiver and a woman of action that can't stand still, as she's a walking generator of creative energy and ideas. Svitlana is a visual artist, a photographer, curator, add something if I'm...
and something more.
and everything else. And also, oddly enough, you are an ecologist by your diploma. Your work has been showcased throughout the world in places like Berlin, Vienna, Paris, Roma,
Los Angeles,
LA, right? I forgot the biggest one.
The first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
And you're currently working as a curator in Avant Garden in Kiev.
Yeah.
And in the on the educational platform, the photography fair in Kiev as well, right?
Yeah, program director in Photo Kiev fair, not just educational, but everything. Don't say it to my director that I do everything.
No, I'm gonna keep quiet.
Yes, you introduced me like I want to marry you. No, I like
we can talk after the interview. We will manage something.
Yeah, it's all truth.
Maybe you can start by telling us who are you from your perspective. So who is Svitlana?
I am a person. I'm a human being, a woman, a mother. I can't describe myself by one word.
With one word,
I'm just me. Now I am more curator because I start make photos, and when someone tells about me, they tell she's art photographer, and no.
Oh, no. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
But when I do photography, when I work with photography, I feel this happiness inside, and oh my God, maybe I'm a photographer. But curator is much more interesting for me because you can combine different stuff, different words, different ideas, not only yours. Because as a photographer, you can do like only that you can do.
Yeah.
And it's just a photo or creating photo books, writing something. But when someone has this idea, but you see all this connection like from the top and say, oh my God, guys, come on. It will be like this, and you make a new, you make a body for these ideas. I like it. I'm thrilling with it. I'm really, really. When I do curating, I'm super happy. I don't know, like blessed. I feel blessed, even maybe.
Do you feel happier when you do curating than when you do photography?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you have all these different angles and perspectives from all these people, and then you can just make a puzzle out of it.
Yes. But puzzle maybe not that word, because puzzle it's something
it's pre-made.
that exists and you build it again. That was broken and you build it again, and it has limits. But I see it like building new one with the pieces, and I don't know what it will be at the end. It's just like intuition, and it's super interesting when concept give birth to itself. For example, we have an online exhibition of paintings. When artists Darina Momot write to us girls to Avant-Garde Gallery, culture agency, we changed the name. She wrote that I want to do something with you, and I have this Syria that I made in quarantine. During lockdown, she draw the pictures every day, and she draw the states that she felt like. The first one was happy, like blessed stupid idiot, like, oh my God, something changed. I am home with my with my friend.
Well, it was still fun.
Yeah. It's like fun. Then when everyone start buy this toilet paper and this crazy stuff, it was fun, and then it became anxiety, then fear, and everything, that apathy, and she draw all these states, and when she wrote to us, we said, okay, let's try. And we built the online exhibition of paintings. Come on, how you can see paintings online? You can't see this paint, and you can smell the oil. You can't touch it when nobody sees. But it was interesting. We create the 3D model of flat of. It wasn't her flat, but when I create this idea, oh my God, it was really cool. It was burned in not burned. It was made in the flat, so we need to exhibit it in the flat. And when we open the exhibition, there is the people can see each other. The quarantine was not such hard and strong, and but we decided not to make the offline exhibition because to feel this. Border with everyone else, and when we start searching for the 3D model of flat, we met the architects that okay, we have this 3D model. maybe it's
Also, they
super long.
they just gave to you their model of a flat, and then
Yeah.
you could put the exhibition in there. Right?
Yes. And then I think that it will be good to add music, because when you walk through this flat and its music, it can be like beating of your heart, and maybe some noises that you hear in your flat, or maybe some music. And I told my friend about this idea, and he said, okay, but I can't do this. I will try, but a week. And I know one guy who can make it, but maybe I don't know how. And next day at the morning, he met that guy just
Out of the blue.
for accident, that, and say, what do you want to? Do you want to make this? He said, oh, I have. I also be in quarantine, and I made this. Like music for these states. For our excited.
And it was just they
Yes.
didn't know about it.
Yes, because
okay.
concept is when it's right, when you go to your way, when you go, feel this like threat, everything helps you to make it
Yeah,
real.
the universe comes together and helps you
sure.
do.
Yeah, and the funny thing is when we have an opening day, and the last drawing, the last picture, when I come to Darina, I said, okay, and where is the last one, the last piece of this series? She said, do it have to be? I said, yeah, sure. You need to go away from these states. How do you feel now? She said, I don't know. And I proposed her to draw this. Every this picture, she make photo on her mobile and draw this photo with herself and her boyfriend, and you always see the hand with the and I proposed to make a photo, make a picture when she said and stand and draw the last one piece, and with all these pictures, the last one is all that drawings
In
one. Yeah, I will show you.
Yeah, I can kind of picture it in
yeah,
my head.
and
It sounds really cool.
And it's pretty big. And in the night before opening, she wrote me, Sveta, sorry, but I didn't finish it. I can't. I want to sleep. And I woke up, read it, and well. Oh, it's super great, because concept give life to itself, because we the last piece is exit from these states, exit from quarantine, exit from lockdown, but nothing changed. We didn't exit that days. We didn't feel free to go out, and even now. As well now, because everyone have a much more personal space now, and it's different feeling when you just near someone.
You think that personal space began like now in the quarantine time, or you think that it's like the thing from like that it's been happening for some time?
No, you start. Now it's strange when someone is near me.
Is near you, yeah.
Not because I'm afraid. I'm afraid to get this corona. I don't. But why are you so near? Near? Go away. Oh, you're pretty. Okay.
Then you can come.
Stay.
So you think it changed like permanently, that it changed a bit like a mindset?
Yeah, I think yes. I think
Yeah, it makes sense.
and it was a problem of humanity, this change in our mind, because the theme that we didn't prepare.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't talked about any of this in our...
Okay, I will talk about it. Our mind has three actions. When it takes information, like we receive information, we think about it,
Yeah, we process it.
Process it, and we, our mind put it on shelves. But now we only receive information. We don't receive information only when we are sleeping. We always like phones, social media, advertising, music. Someone talks, and like me now, and. Because of that, and you need only 23 minutes a day. Do not think about nothing. Anything, and do not receive information. That's why the brilliant idea comes to you when you're in shower, when you don't receive information. The mind is like reload, but we didn't do this. Not taking shower, but. I think we did. That's why I propose to everyone meditate at least 23 minutes a day, and that's why the mind start stopping some process because too much information, and we start to be indifferent to others, because all this scrolling, you scroll and scroll, you start scrolling your life, your partners in your life, something I will find better, I will find smarter, I will find something more interesting, and you start scrolling your life because of that, and nobody is needed nowadays, because you have online everything. You can live in. You can't even don't leave your flat whole life, because you have a Glovo. Do you have Glovo?
We do have, unfortunately, or not. But I could see the same thing, as well as you also don't have time to think about others, to feel empathy about somebody, because you're so filled with everything that you don't stop and think, oh, how's the other person feeling, or how's my friend? Or...
Yes, and as well, when you scroll, for example, Facebook, you can see, oh my God, something happened, I don't know. Oh my God, so many people dies, and next picture will be some cat, wedding. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then you forgot that people died.
Yeah.
And this, we start being different.
Yeah, it kind of numbs us completely.
But
we kind of went off the course completely,
yes,
which
sorry.
is fine.
Sorry.
No, you don't have to be. So would you like to tell us what is your project here in Novi Sad, and what do you like to do in general?
We'll see.
We'll see. It's open for improvisation.
I don't know. The project, the exhibition, you mean?
Oh yeah, the Guide is an Artist project that you have.
Project, it was my first project.
Ever?
Ever.
Really?
Yeah. I started shooting photography, fashion photography. I don't remember this year. Maybe 10 years ago, I don't know. And then I start asking myself, who is that girl? Why is she standing there? It was pretty good pictures, but why she's wearing like that? Why I add this color? Why? What's
Yeah,
what's
what's the meaning
behind?
behind
What
it,
is
yeah.
deeper? I start trying to see deeper and find the answers because of. Stop it.
We can cut this.
Yeah, and then I start to study art photography and understand art photography. It's okay. We will speak about this later, you can speak by photography and speak some thoughts, some ideas, maybe some philosophy of your life. The God as an Artist was like a project for some course that I visit there that year. I don't remember. Okay, doesn't matter. I try to prove that the God is an artist. God, I mean, not religion. God, not this man with a beard on the clouds, but this some energy, universe is the artist. Everything that we see, it's an art. It's a piece of art. Even some these leaves that just swimming in the water. It's super beautiful, and it's yeah. And I try to prove it. For this purpose, yeah, I think yes. But I have a discussion with some curator when I show these photos, this book, because I think that every project must have a body, and for photo projects, photo books is a body, and you can do this photo book as you can give body to the project, not just like a piece of paper, but you, if it's about something that super hard for you, super heavy, it can be heavy book. You can be super small, but super heavy. You can put the stone in there that you take and understand that this something, or you can make some unpleasant pages, or maybe it's the pages can change to the end.
So you basically take all the senses in your approach when you're making something. You think about the touch and the smell and
I think that you need to use every sensitive
every sense. I think it's sense, yeah.
That you have, much more that you have. If you can, and you will see the whole picture. This touching, smelling, sound, maybe some wind, if we talk about offline exhibitions. Yes, and I think about this project from very beginning, it will be a book. And I start to shoot some photos, just shoot everything that I saw, and I have some feeling, and just put maybe not just a camera, it was a mobile and a film camera, digital camera, whatever I have with me, and just shoot it. And then if it was film, I boiled it, I burn it, do crazy stuff. And if it was digital, some pictures, photos, I printed it and then do like with the acid, use tape and some. Also, I printed it on just office printer, but on old photo paper, and it was
the ink was moving.
And it was moving, and so every photo is one and only. That's why I think I prove it, because if I do the same, it will be another way. It's really different, and it is in book. You can see it. So yes, and then I was in some flea market of books and found old Bible. take it and then edit all sacral books pages because I don't think that religion is. I think all religions is about one, but everyone choose that one that. Feel comfortable in it. If you want to be sad and scared about everything, you can be. okay. So yes, and then I put the photos in this Bible and scan it, but I don't see even just put it like random, super random, and even don't write what was written on these pages where I put these photos. And someone who have much more time than I read it and said that it really suits this page, text and photo. It's makes sense together. Yes.
And it all happened accidentally. You didn't intend to.
Yeah. And here in Novi Sad, it will be the first exhibition of this project because as I said, I thought only it's a book, it's okay. And after that, I met on portfolio review. It doesn't matter. Okay. And I want to say about this book. There's yes, the decision to use Bible was pretty simple. Maybe yes, it was first depth, first layer, but I was young.
No, it suits the.
Yes,
the
yeah. But
theme
now I maybe do something different. But after I create this book, I send it to one open call and dummy, and this that year it goes to Paris Photo.
Oh.
It was it was so. What? Paris Photo, my book, I just started, oh my gosh. And then I presented on Vienna Photo Book Festival, and some book dealer, art dealer from Paris bought this book, and this book living its life. Really, I don't, I am super stupid about all this advertising PR and something. I just put it on site and forgot about it. And someone just call me or write an email. I bought your book in. Some professor of philosophy from Frankfurt or München, I don't remember, such a beautiful book. What? Where did you get it?
Did you have idea that the book traveled through all those cities and hands?
Yes.
Did you know about it before the guy contacted you?
No.
Oh.
I just contact with this book dealer and all these people. Some guy from New York wrote, I go to your site, I bought your book, and I go to your site, and there need to be the print, and I don't have a print. Maybe it was lost or something. Can you send me the print? My book in New York, come on. I do nothing. Because it's, as well, it lived its life. When the project born, it started like a child, like you need to
let it
go
grow.
Away. Go live your life.
And have you ever held the book? Has the book been in your hands again after all those?
No, it's
travels?
many books. It's 100 of books, not one.
Oh, I thought you created like one big the Bible and then.
Oh, no. Like edition of 100, but now it's 16 maybe sold somewhere.
Oh, awesome!
I bring it with me. I will show you. Yeah. And I think that maybe it's not right because it's different ways to be an artist. Maybe you can be I think it's don't judge me. Don't
No, it's a safe zone, so you can.
because you can be super annoying art. No.
Well, you can be annoying artist. I mean, I would.
Yeah, I mean,
say
you can
many
say,
of-
can you see, look at my picture, look at my picture, look at or you can just make it because you just can't do it. Do not do it.
Yeah. You just have to.
You just
let
do
it
it
out.
because
Yeah.
it's doing, and you can't do anything with yourself. But it's like a honesty with yourself. It's not that guys that have PR and can write emails or something is bad. No. It's like a different ways to be an artist. Maybe I want to do it, but I just can't. It's not interesting for me. That's why. When you finish the project, it's so interesting. What will be?
What will happen with
Yes.
Yeah, well, all the PR stuff and advertising. I mean, it just kills the.
Creativity.
It just kills it. Yeah.
Kills an art maybe, but it works.
It works, but I don't think that if it works, it's.
It's connected with the art in general.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
like,
if it's working, it doesn't mean that it's good, I guess, or that it's supposed to be like that. I mean, a lot
there
of the
is
things.
no good and bad in general.
Yeah.
We are
I
in
agree.
Japanese Zen
Japanese
sat.
garden. No, I agree, but yeah, there are many ways to be. That's for sure. And what would you say that art and the creative process is for you then? If you think that there is a creative force that kind of guides us to do things differently, and how do you connect it to your own decisions and your own view of art?
What is art for me? Art is a way of being. I think art is freedom. Is freedom that inside you. Art is love. Art is really it's a way of being. I think, as you said, yes, that there is some invisible force that don't divide everything good or bad. That it's just everywhere, and that I think that we are all whole one, you, me. There is no you and me. There is no this tree. There is no. It's all one world, and this connection,
No, that's okay. Don't worry.
I want to say so much, but it's language border is killing me.
No, I mean, I understand you perfectly, so don't worry.
Because it's so important theme for me. And I think that we are like just a hands for this energy, for this force, and everyone is an artist. We can. Who can do something with his or her hands, they do. Who can't, when you do something that you feel happy, when you feel on your place, when you feel that you're going on your way, when you just feel happy when you do it, except killing people. But if that people want to be killed, okay, it's a match, guys.
No, I
and it can be anything. It can be cooking. Cooking can be an art.
Cooking,
just living, sleeping can be an art if you are really.
If you're
happy
dreaming a lot.
do it.
Well, many movies I think
Drinking.
started from dreaming, not drinking, but drinking as well. So
Maybe an art. I'm an artist.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think that's the way of
many
Yeah.
artist is an artist. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but it's not the point. So What to say?
How do you? I mean, the most interesting
Oh,
part
yeah.
for me in your project was the view of human role in your project. Like, what's your role in it? Is it only being hands, or do you have a bit more authorship in that?
I think that maybe it's. Sorry. I think that we are a mirror. Maybe I will. Wait a minute. Yes, that all we have inside us, we have outside. The universe that surrounds us is inside us. And the art itself is a mirror for the viewer. Everyone see the art different ways. You even do not have to read the statement of the artwork. It can be like you see the work and boom, wow, what? You can cry, and someone can go and don't. Maybe that's why someone don't understand art. Many people said, "I don't understand art," because they don't understand themselves, because they don't. Look inside themselves. Don't ask questions. Maybe it's not these answer that you ask.
No,
I know.
no, it kind of is. But so you think that introspection is a big part of understanding art and
I think that art. I answer the previous question because it's important. To translate, it's a little bit slow. That art is a mirror of the viewer. This one, and what I like in art the most in contemporary art. In contemporary art, that art no longer represent. It ask the viewer, what do you represent?
Yeah.
I like it because that's why when you saw Pollock, and just I start crying. I can't stop myself every time I see Pollock.
Really?
Yes, it's. I just sit and crying, I feel all this pain. I don't understand, and I don't have pain inside me. It's not a mirror. I feel his pain. Maybe I was Pollock. I don't know.
Well, if you say that everything is one, then you are Pollock.
maybe that's why.
Then it's all the same pain, I guess.
I don't know. I will think about it. Not in English.
It's for the next PDP.
Maybe tomorrow and after tomorrow. We have 3 days for creativity.
What do you think about the one medium art today? Like, do you think that it still exists? Do you think that there is still place in the art world for?
It's Middle Ages to speak one media, because there are so many possibilities to speak your idea.
Yeah,
that
and the languages.
Use just one media is forbidden. I think you need to go to jail.
We should legally forbid that.
That's why I stopped doing photos, because I understand that there is a multi-linguistic language, like art. And if I can't speak this language, I will shut up, because I don't want to speak just on like languages. Like, якщо я почну розмовляти українською, то ти можеш мене не зрозуміти, а можеш зрозуміти. Якщо
Можу, ти розумієш.
Бачиш, ти розумієш мене. Але якщо я не буду рухати руками чи якось там дивитись, то ти мене не зрозумієш, якщо я буду просто, ти почуєш цю мову. Sorry.
Не, само ти настави. Можеш да наставиш на українському, слободно. Да, ти ме розумела?
О, це
Не будемо
набагато простіше буде. Let's try it спочатку.
Хайде, спочатку.
So yeah, and about this multilinguistic language, that it's and you can see it's.
Well, yeah, you have the language
English,
of smell, the
so
language
sad.
of sight, the language of touch. You have the language of everything, and you can speak Swedish now, and I can speak Japanese, and we'll still kind of understand each other.
But oh, it's so hard to switch again. Це було так зручно, так було зручно, так рідненько. Добре. Good. But the different languages, it's just a language, if speak in general. And even the simple. There are different people, not people. There are different, different types of people. Types. I forgot the word types. There are different types of people. That someone it's better to understand when he or she hears something. So visuals. This kinesthetic that want to touch something, and digital that want to think about it. It's like more. Use their mind. It's different types of understanding each other.
Yeah.
That's why when you use every senses, it's will be understandable to everyone. And it's like make a volume. Yes, volume. Of the project, and it's build some space, some universe, and this. I love this. It's like illness, synesthesia.
Oh yeah,
it's when someone hear music, she or he see color. My gosh, I want.
Well, I guess the artists can do that as well, in a way.
Yeah. But they do.
They really do. Yeah, I know.
Yes. I tried it.
You tried it, no.
I tried to get ill, like synesthesia. Yeah.
And what do you plan something in the future? Do you have upcoming projects or?
Every my project is comes to me intuitivity. I don't. It's like catching the ideas. You just feel something and you understand that. Oh my God! I thinking about it a week. What is it? That it's even somewhere there. I even don't understand what about. Then you start collecting something, some feelings, words. Write down some photos and everything, and it's like it's not a miracle. But everyone can. When you saw some film or some movie and the phrase, oh my God, then you read the book and also this theme, it's coming to you without your permission.
Yeah, without your permission.
Okay, so what do you want to say? And I think that comes to you and what I need to say. And now I am working on project about reality, about it has no name, it has a lot of names like God, like a devil, but the real name doesn't appear yet. Half a year ago maybe because of lockdown, I think too much too much. And I understand that reality doesn't exist. And I want to prove it. Because there is no one reality for everybody, really. We see the colors other way, different ways. We hear the sound different ways. We taste, and we can't we can't compare it.
Yeah, you can't compare, and you will never know in your lifetime.
Yes.
You will never know what is.
Maybe I'm just looking like for you another way. I don't know, because when you say, okay, shoot me and I will see. But your face on photo looks different when someone shoots you. I think that it's from
A different angle?
Huh?
From a different angle? You
No.
mean?
Different people shoot you one.
shoot.
I have
Okay.
performance with that. I was standing in the studio, and people come to my studio and just shoot me. And it's like different people. Not different people. It's me,
Yeah.
but it's really different faces. Some ugly, some pretty, and that people didn't know me. I just speak with them 10 minutes and they shoot me from one...
From their point of view.
Yeah. It was super interesting, but not about it, about reality. Yeah, and I think that maybe reality do exist, but I try to find these bugs, not bugs, like errors of reality, and because I think it's maybe we are in some computer game. I don't know. It's maybe someone play for us now. Maybe I need to finish some mission and we'll go to another level. I don't know.
Well, they could repeat this year then.
Yeah, maybe it's guitar,
And so you're finding errors and bugs, and you're practically collecting them.
Yes. I shoot them, but it's bugs for me. Maybe someone will, for example, it's a super silly example, the circle, but if you stand like to another angle, it will be oval, yeah? Yeah, it's physics, but but I think it's error of reality.
It's your diploma on work. Finally,
Yes,
you have time to
to
use
all
your
my
bachelor.
knowledge.
Well, Mama was right about that. Okay, and what do you plan to do with your bugs from reality?
I don't know.
Do you have any idea how would you like to embody them into one?
I have many ideas, but it's it's sometimes when you create some project, you feel when it's true, when it's just it needs to be like that. And when you start to creating something, to try to create something, I understand that sometimes I have create some strange construction of I want to for example, I want to make a book about relationship, about love. That's another project that I shoot about love, and that's everything is changed. We need to reinvent the love itself. It's
well, it sounds
it's hard.
It sounds really interesting. Do you have anything? Did you start a project?
Yeah. I started the
Reinvention of love?
project, and it's super critical. I was divorced like 2 years ago, and it was my decision. No,
Then congratulations, I guess.
I don't know, because it was super strange and doesn't matter. And I returned to the market of relationship, and I understand that everything changed, and try to figure out what what can I do there? And understand that love is gone. Love is gone, and it's another. Okay, can we talk about this? The relationship, this institution of relationship is changed, but there is no that love that that true love that. Shooting on films,
like
singing in songs, like
Prince on a white horse.
Yeah. It's super changed, and it's okay. But people continue to live with that love that doesn't exist anymore. And that's why it's strange. And I was super physically not physically. I was in bad condition. I can't understand anything what's going on with myself. Now I understand, but
at that time, you mean?
Yeah. I was searching for myself, and that's why I try to change everything in my life. No, but it's not. You're not a psychologist.
Well, I could be.
Okay, let's. But then I try to. It was I'm not proud of that period because I installed Tinder and start chatting with everybody and screenshotting all these messages, all these dick pics, all shooting dates and like secret shooting of the dates and everything.
So you arranged the date and then you didn't appear, but you were secretly there with a camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and everything that. And I tried to, like a detective, find this.
Do you know Sophie Kahl? Maybe the artist?
Yeah,
she's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and then I understand, and it was super hard for me because it's not me. It's not. It was super. I feel myself so. And then I understand that love has nothing to do with somebody else. It's exists inside you, and it is as big as the universe. And the love, it's not like some pink. Hearts and pigeons with the with the leaves. I don't know. And love is incredible force, and it's need to stop to be emotion and start to be a force as it is.
And decision, I guess. Decision as well. I mean, you have to decide to love somebody. You wake up and, okay, I'm deciding to love this person today. And
every day.
Yeah.
You need to, and now with this project, I try to use different media because I write a book and about all that guys and all my thoughts about love, about everything. And shooting photos, and why I start telling about this project?
Oh, I asked you.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Okay.
Well, I'm really looking forward to see how it ends up. That project.
No, I start because this project, and when I start to do, I think that it is done when I. Shoot that project about love, and I want to make a book, then burn it in crematorium.
Crematorium, I think.
Crematorium. Then take these ashes and put in the jar, and it will be a book. The love that I burn and and I think it's over. It's not natural value. This
Well, it's
I do a lot of job. That's why this project is super important. No. And I don't remember why I started talking about this.
Well, it's definitely interesting.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bye.
And swim away.
Well, Svitlana, it was really nice speaking to you. I mean, we'll
Hope
definitely
so.
continue after this interview.
In Ukrainian, por favor. Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you. And, well, we'll see each other on your exhibition and your workshop.
Can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Good luck. Go swim.
Thank you.
Thank you.